Hello and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, we are at sea again today, but this is a very special day because this is actually our first day at a port. So we were actually at Messina, which is Sicily, Italy, and I have no idea what this that I'm showing is. I just thought it was really cool. I don't know, at first I thought it was a volcano, if I'm being honest. I don't think it was. It was just like on our way to Messina. So we did have an early morning start. We always like to, especially on port days, get the breakfast. It's like a continental breakfast. It includes like toast, breads, pastries, cereal, milk, coffee, and juice. And you can fill that out, put it on your door handle at night, and they will bring it to you at whatever time you ask. So we did get some chocolate milk for me, coffee for my mom, and I believe I just got like an English muffin or some toast and some muffins for my mom. So after we got ready, we decided to go to Cabanas and get some eggs and bacon because that was not included in the continental breakfast. And we did see some scenes of Messina from the city and from different sides of the boat. And in a minute, you're going to see a video of the flag of Italy. And that was yet another moment on this trip that we had that we were like, we're actually in Italy right now. So we did have to meet around 10 o'clock in the theater to get separated into our bus routes, into what tours we were. So this was actually the only excursion we done on this whole cruise that was through Disney. So it's Taormina on your own. And I believe I said this in the last video, you're basically paying for the bus ride there and back. So it was $74 a person. And it was pretty interesting because one of the tour people that we were with was actually talking the whole ride over there about some things about Sicily and what was special about Sicily. So I do have that included, and you'll hear some of that on the way back too. Messina, trying to figure out some things to do in Taormina. Look at this city side, countryside with the mountains over there with the clouds. All the people down here are getting ready to greet us. I'm assuming we're going to be going on one of those big buses. And then we'll go to Taormina. It's about an hour away from here. And then once we get to Taormina, we're just on our own doing whatever we want to. But we'll come back here. We don't have to be on the ship until like 7:30, I think. But we'll probably be ready to come back on. We'll probably be tired, but if we can, I was going to try to see if we could do something in Messina, or like go to a store, something like that, but getting excited. But first a quick picture, and we're off the boat by 10:30.
Okay, good morning. Welcome to Sicily. My name is Julia, and today I will be your tour leader during the transfer from the city, Messina, to Taormina. You will find that Sicily is known for its food. The food here is considered very fantastic, not to mention the best cuisine as well. Spices and herbs like rosemary, turmeric, and pork are able to thrive year-round here due to the generally mild climate. So these fresh ingredients are used in many of the local dedications. Fertile soils produce an abundance of lemons and oranges every year, pistachios, olives, almonds, and prickly pears. You can always find some fresh fish and delicious meat from markets. Perhaps the most famous of all Sicilian pastries, the cannolo, is a party for your taste bud. Foodies from all over the world are drawn the shores of Sicily to taste the tasty of this amazing pastry. So the composition of the confectionery in a Swiss powder pastry shall combine with sweetened ricotta cheese inside of it. In some occasions, more exactly into the ricotta, such as chocolate chips or a bit of candied fruit. Or another local specialty is granita with brioche. It's a cold sweet treat made from water, sugar, and fruit. So the city was born with the name Taormina, a name it still retains even if transformed into Taormina, a toponym that means house on the Taurus, the mountain on which it was built. It was a colony of Magna Graecia with its agora, the Acropolis of Mount on top of Mount Tauro, and the military seat of the municipal council. So today the city is a popular destination for international tourists. Many tourists are arriving each year from all over the world to discover its beauty. So the main street of Taormina is also back to the first. It's closed by two stone arches, the Arch of Porta Messina and the Arch of Porta Catania. So in this street, you'll find all kinds of restaurants, coffee bars, and shops. Corso Umberto was dedicated to the king who ruled Italy from 1878. Among the many wonders that can be found in the heart of Corso Umberto, there is, for example, the clock tower, also called Torre di Mezzo, because it divided the medieval village from the Greco-Roman era. Next, we will have Piazza 9 Aprile, one of the most beautiful historic squares, a panoramic point that offers a splendid view from Mount Etna to Naxos Bay.
So getting to see the Italian countryside was great, and that is also Mount Etna. And then we were set off, but first the bathroom. That was our first toilet we went into. And then we kind of walked this little area, and then once we passed through that little arch was actually the street of Taormina and where all the shopping was and food places. So if you've watched The White Lotus, which is on HBO, they actually filmed that second season, I believe, here in Taormina. And right through that street over there, and I will show that in a minute, is actually on the way to the Four Seasons Hotel, which is the hotel that was featured in the show. And I wish I would have done some more research, because I definitely would have made my way over to the Four Seasons and tried to find some of the filming locations where they were at. And then we went to one of the more popular restaurants in Taormina. It's called and I'm butchering this name, Brasticceria da Cristina. So I did find this on TikTok, and as you can see, they had delicious items there. We did get the arancini, which is very popular. It's like a fried ball with rice, cheese, and sauce. And this I just thought was really cool, because that's how you got your money. Like, you inserted your 50 euros in and it gave you the correct change back. And I will be doing a review of the arancini right now. We got this famous arancini. One is ragu, one is ragu, and one is spinach. I already dropped the knife on the ground, but we're still gonna eat it. And if I was smart, I would have brought my utensil set, but it is at the room. This is the spinach, I would assume. Cheese. I'll cut it that way. This one said it had peas in it. Okay, I'm gonna eat this ragu one.
Very good.
It is very good. Very hot. Yeah, it does have peas in it, so I'm not too sure I like that, but it's really good. Now let's try the spinach, and then I'll eat the rest off camera. So this is spinach. I think I like the spinach better than the ragu. I think. tiny shirts in this dark alleyway. Good for picture taking though. What is this? Cut. I don't know. So watching that footage back now was literally making my mouth water because that arancini was so good. So if you ever get the chance to go to Taormina, you need to go eat there. And then we just kind of looked around at some of the stores. Now some were more unique than others, I will say that. And I'll have some more thoughts on what I thought about Taormina later. But for now, you can just look at some of the stores and some of the scenery that we were going to look at. How beautiful is this?
Meter and you got like 35 bucks per person.
This is the best place for plants. They're doing lots of construction over there. I don't know where we're at right now. But we're gonna go over here to this gelateria and pistacheria. It says cannoli and gelato, and that's what we both want. Could be bad, could be good. I don't know. So we did go in that store, and they have lots of pastries. My mom did get a cannoli, and I obviously got gelato, and the best I can remember, it was pretty good. But did have better later, and then it was back to shopping and sightseeing. This is some of the music that was playing in some of the stores. So I'm not a big shopper, and a lot of these items, and even probably for my mom, were just not for us. Though I did like that bag, but realistically, I would never use that. And we did find this cute little fruit stand that was selling stuff, and I so wish I would have bought some of that stuff. Look at this little cactus. Look at all of these succulents. What is this? Really?
Big picture of that song.
Stupid. Poisonous plants and flowers, don't touch. These plants can kill you. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that cactus up there. They must be really big on cacti. So instead of shopping the whole time, I did convince my mom to go to the public gardens, which was called the Villa Comunale. And it was kind of like a botanical gardens and kind of like a little park. And so that's what we were on our way to right now. The walk wasn't that bad. It really did not take us that long to get here from the very beginning where we started and were dropped off. Though, of course, we'd made stops, ate, and looked in shops. So it probably would have taken us a lot shorter time had we just walked straight here and then made our way back. So now is probably a good time to share my thoughts about Taormina and this excursion through Disney as I show you around these gardens here. We did not have enough time in Taormina, so by the time we got off the ship on the bus, it was about 10:30. By the time we got to Taormina, it was about 11:30. So by the time we got to actually get into Taormina, we had from 11:30 to 3:30, so not that long at all. So if I were to come back on another cruise here, I would definitely try to find a private driver with a tour guide that could show us around and tell us a little bit more about the country and about Taormina than just a few facts on the bus that we had. Don't get me wrong, it was very good, and for our first time is probably what would be best for us, but now seeing how good it was, I would probably do something different. So my mom would probably disagree on a lot of my views of Taormina, but for me personally, I'm not a big shopper. So we actually live in Alabama, and in Huntsville, there's a shopping center there called Bridge Street. And to be honest, at times when we were in Taormina, I kind of felt like I was back at Bridge Street just because there were a lot of stores with clothes and stuff. Now, there were several unique stores that I really enjoyed going in here, and things that you probably would not find in America just very easily. And of course, they had more art and more mosaics and buildings that you would think of when you think of Italy there. And I'm not hating on Taormina, I'm really not. I'm just not a big shopper. So in Taormina, you saw some of the stores. They had Louis Vuitton, Coach, Hermes. They had a lot of high-end labeled things, and I personally have no desire for those type of stores. So going to this Public Gardens was something that was right up my alley. My mom, on the other hand, is a big shopper and loves to look around, loves to shop, loves going in stores even though she knows she's not going to buy anything. So Taormina was perfect for her. So would I go back to Taormina? Absolutely. I would love to explore some of the beaches, explore more of the culture there. They actually had some Greek or Roman theaters that were there, and a lot more things there in Taormina to explore. We just didn't have enough time to. That was the biggest complaint I had of this tour of this day, was just we didn't have enough time. Oh, I think that's Mount Etna over there.
That's what I said.
It's kind of hard to tell. So after looking here for a while, we sat down for a minute on one of these benches later on in the shades, and we talked to my grandmother. We did have service on her phone, and then I sent a picture to James Spann. So if you know who he is, he's a weatherman for ABC in Birmingham, and he actually posted one of my pictures. And my mom basically had to make me leave because I could have sat here all day and spent my whole time here just looking around. And getting to see all the cacti here was very neat. And then we went back, and you can see how narrow this street was and how you kind of like had to hug the buildings so the bus wouldn't hit you. So when looking up things to do on TikTok, I found this place called the Bam Bar. And if you look up Taormina, tons of people have posted about this place. We were gonna go there, but they closed at like 11 or 1 or something. So we saw it, we just didn't get to eat there because they were famous for their brioche and granita, I believe. And there was some succulents and rubber trees. The plants there were gorgeous, and I wish I could keep plants like that here at home, but it's just not the climate for that.
Francesco, passa questo telefono e ci aiuti, lanciamo.
And then it was time for some more gelato and more cannoli. So these cannolis and this gelato was better than the last one. So that was chocolate and pistachio, and it was delicious. I done a quick search on TikTok again and found this place, and I will insert this there. And I thought that said stuffed because I think I'm dyslexic. And then we looked in some more stores. We popped into a toy store that actually had jelly cats, which I did not purchase, which was a mistake for me and I regretted later. And we stumbled upon these musicians playing for these people who were eating at that restaurant. Looked around, took some pictures, and I wish I would have got some of that artwork. And then we went to this little church that was at the entrance where we were dropped off, and where my mom was threatening to leave me because time was almost up and we had to be back to meet those people to get on the bus. And then it was back on the bus.
Or the symbolic monument of Taormina dates back to the Greek period, the ancient theater, built in the 3rd century BC, taking advantage of the morphology of the hill and surrounded by a magnificent view of the Sicilian Ionian coast with Etna, considered the second most important after that of Syracuse in Hellenic style with corizo columns. It underwent architectural changes over the centuries, especially during the Roman era, which transformed it into an amphitheater for gladiator shows. So today the theater hosts important events. Not far from Central Square, you may visit the public garden. It's on the outskirts of Taormina, but is one of the most beautiful and surprising places in the town. So the public garden history is related to the life of Blessed Saint Florence, a Scottish Roman. The park dates back to the late 19th century. It looks like a typical English garden. It develops on several levels, connected by stairs, and there are small squares hidden in the lush nature where you can see a botanical garden. So the Victorian follies are fabulous constructions in urban style. Is where the lady loved to welcome her guests or paint. So Lady Florence definitely entertained. In 1890, she bought the teeny island of Isola Bella and built a lovely house. So Isola Bella is a not a proper island. A narrow strip of beach connects it to the mainland. At high tide, the central part of the beach is underwater. Well, so Taormina is like an open-air art museum, once an integral part of the Via Valeria, which connected Messina to Catania. So today we find this road with many ancient palaces and churches, which make Taormina a place where different architectures meet. So therefore, witness of the different domination from Arab to Norman, which characterize the history of this area, overturning its urban layout on several occasions.
So the bus ride back to the ship was actually very quiet, and what you just heard was just a continuation from the bus ride over to Taormina. So because it was so quiet, I think most people probably took a nap. I know I did. I know my mom did, and I saw several other people taking a nap. But looking at the scenery was just gorgeous. You can see the water, you can see the mountainside, you can see cacti plants. It was just gorgeous, and I probably should have sat on the left side on the way over there, and you can also see that train over there. We got back to port around 4 or 4:30, and I have big plans to actually go into Messina and look at some more stores, maybe even go to a restaurant, get a snack or some more gelato. We didn't do any of that. We were so tired. We just went back up to our room and got ready because tonight was actually pirate night, and you're going to see some clips of that, and you're going to hear some music from a violinist. We walked in and we had our pirate night stuff plus this. It's popcorn and Rice Krispie treats. And it says this on the inside. We of course had to get an ice cream cone, but that was actually our first time to be pixie dusted. So in that bag included a bag of popcorn and some Rice Krispie treats, which we did enjoy later on in the trip. And then we went to go meet characters, Chip and Dale. Of course, we had to meet Pirate Mickey. And the atrium was buzzing with people to meet characters. And like I said, there was this violinist, and you're going to see her right now. And she was actually playing some songs. This was actually Taylor Swift's song, so obviously I had to include that. And we just kind of waited in line, met some characters. We did have to wait in a long line for Captain Hook and Mr. Smee, but to me that was kind of worth it. We didn't really have anything going on or a show to get to, so we just done that, and then the boat started to leave. And while waiting in line, we got to see a performance by Miss Daisy Duck herself, and you can see her dancing to the violinist song. So while I was waiting in the long line, my mom was actually sitting in one of the chairs off to the side, and she got some videos as we were leaving the port. And then after the long wait, Captain Hook and Mr. Smee were finally there, and we got a quick picture with them and then off to explore the ship before supper. Just found this little duck. So I did end up keeping that duck for just a little bit, and then I rehid it somewhere else. And of course we had to go check the pin selection in the stores, and since I love pin trading, I did purchase a few pins while we were on ship, and I will probably share those in a later video. And you can see we're going pretty fast there. And then we went to supper. So we were actually by ourselves this night because our table mates were going to eat at Palo that night. So since they were all gone, I did do a little more talking, a little bit more filming during our meal.
Check out all the human dudes! Hello, dudes! Oh, let's totally try that again! The name's Crush! I said hello, dudes! Oh, they live! Check it out! Me and my fishing family were cruising the big old blue when we saw you dudes doing the same. What do you say we all totally hang together? If that sounds cool, say chaw! Chaw! You little dudes, come on in! This is my mini dude squirt and hey man, Nemo.
Dude, check it out! It's like a big human tank! Sweet!
Yo little dudes, go!
We both got the potato soup. Thank you. What'd you get? The arugula salad? This looks really good. This is a filet mignon. What'd you get? The pork chop? Cookies and cream sundae. The lemon icebox pie. And what'd you get? The rice pudding? Is that what you got?
Apple crumble rice pudding.
This looks like the little dots that they have on the Wish at the Marvel, I think it was.
He wants to know, can you be private fierce?
Come crew, you know what to do! Yo ho, a pirate
So having the second dinner meant that we were late to the pirate party, which is why I did not get the best view, and that was literally the only video I had of the party. And after that we went back to the room. That was our towel animal that was pirate themed, and I think this is the end. So thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you next time.